Tim Collins with Cullman today. I'm down with Head of Investigations of the Cullman Police Department, Captain Becky Boyd. Becky, you guys are always very busy, but this week, particularly on Tuesday and Wednesday, you're busier than normal chasing thieves. Can you tell us what went on?
Absolutely. Over the course of the past couple of weeks, we've had a number of reported thefts that had came in from the Lowe's area, specifically tools being stolen out of vehicles while parked in the parking lot. The owner would go into the store, and when they come back out, their tools were gone.
These are contractors driving their trucks in to get parts or supplies and
things that they needed to do their job to earn a living. You know, people out working, and their tools are getting stolen, and yeah, that's not a good thing. So Sergeant Scott Sanford, one of my investigators, he looked at the reports and kind of put a trend together, and we decided that to do a little sting operation to see if we couldn't catch the person.
And you initiated that on Tuesday of this week, correct?
We did. We came in really early Tuesday morning and put our plan together, and spent several hours down there at Lowe's, but didn't have any luck on Tuesday morning.
Like a bad fishing trip. But the next day things picked up. Things
picked up on Wednesday morning. Again, we set up down there along with my entire investigation staff. We set up down there at Lowe's, and sure enough, shortly after they opened, sometime shortly after 7 a.m., we had previously identified a suspect vehicle through video surveillance, but we had that vehicle come in matching that description. The driving behavior matched what had been done in the previous videos, and sure enough, here after a few passes through the parking lot, subject exited the vehicle and began his shopping by going into other vehicles and taking property out of the beds of other trucks and putting it in his.
So let me get this straight. This man just kind of rolls up, gets out, starts pulling stuff out of beds of trucks, opening doors, just helping himself to whatever contractor tools he could find.
That's exactly right. He was shopping. He just wasn't shopping in the store.
Gotcha. And so I assume you let him load up, and as he was pulling out, you informed him of...
That is correct. Yeah, okay. We said, wait a minute. He was stopped, and upon stopping him, you know, the property was recovered. We were able to locate the victim, the proper owner of the tools, and were able to return those tools to him. And Mr. Travis Evans, he was from Warrior. He was subsequently arrested for unlawful breaking and entering of a vehicle, and at this time there will be potentially more cases to follow, charges following for the prior thefts as well.
Well, it's reasonable to at least consider the idea that this is probably not his first Lowe's. Don't know that for sure, obviously, but
that is something we are following up on. One thing we do know is it's certainly not his first theft. He had quite an extensive criminal history involving thefts, and as a matter of fact, at the time of his arrest, there were active warrants of arrest from other agencies for thefts. And he was also on probation, state probation, for prior thefts, and had recently, as of the fall of 2016, gotten out of state prison for theft.
Wow. So you would think that would be good enough for one day, but no, there's more, right?
Well, as a matter of fact, if that's kind of an unusual event for typical days, you know. But later in the day, it's time to go home. We were able to make contact, or excuse me, we didn't make contact. A subject had made contact with an undercover officer asking to buy a handgun, or actually wanted to trade dope for a handgun. And through that exchange of messages, transaction plan was established, and we arranged to meet the subject to just see exactly what he wanted to do, what he was up to.
And so you met him along Interstate 65, kind of southwest part of Cullman County.
Yes, sir, that's correct. We ultimately ended up meeting the subject, was able to do surveillance, and we had a pretty good idea who the person was going to be, and we were able to determine that person was indeed at the location. And Mr. Keith Allen Henderson of Hoover, Alabama, had decided to come up here and was looking to acquire a handgun. Once we confirmed that that's the person that we had been communicating with, we detained him, and we were able to seized from him, he had heroin, methamphetamine, XANAX on him, as well as a large amount of stolen property in the vehicle, including a stolen 12-gauge shotgun that he was wanting to trade for the handgun. And most of this property we've been able to determine was from a residential burglary in Jefferson County earlier that day.
Well, and he has an extensive criminal past too, doesn't he?
As a matter of fact, he does. He also had current warrants with other agencies for thefts. He also has an extensive criminal history, but his history involves much more than just theft. There were numerous drug charges as well as some violent crimes, such as assaults, domestic violence, and things of this nature. And as a convicted felon, he's prohibited from carrying a firearm. So we've contacted the ATF and asked for assistance with that for potential federal charges against him as well for being in possession of the firearm.
And so you detained him and took him to the detention center?
Yes, sir. At this time, he was arrested at that time for the unlawful possession of controlled substance. There will be other following charges on receiving stolen property for the property that he had that had been reported stolen.
Gotcha. Well, now, Becky, what's interesting to me about both these cases is these individuals reside outside of Cullman County, just got out of prison literally within the last few months, and they're coming into City of Cullman County. That really doesn't work for you guys, does it?
No, we definitely prefer them not to bring their business here, but if they choose to do so, we are going to do our due diligence in catching them, arresting them, and hopefully sending them back to prison. You know, things do get beyond our control at that time, beyond the arrest itself, but we are always, as a staff here at the investigation, working to deter crime as much as possible. And when it is reported, we work every case to the best of our abilities to catch them.
Well, I have a feeling when and if these individuals ever get through their judicial process and think about coming back to Cullman County, City of Cullman, probably think about going someplace else.
Well, I would hope so. that would be my preference.
Captain Boyd, thanks so much for talking to me. 2 interesting cases. Thanks so much.
Thank you.